cut everybody off. Like,
But I told you, I don't think I'm fight. That's wild, bro.
Where are we coming up with these questions? Orgy going on? My man, he's a joke.
She aged like cheese. Speak on it, brother. Speak on it.
Practically become Bruce Wayne.
What we gotta do, Mika?
Push the goddamn button, man.
Whew. We are here, all of us. Well, everybody. I'm here this time. And so about last night. Man. So for those of you that don't know, I had a major plumbing issue happen within minutes of the podcast starting, where I had a pipe disconnect from the wall abruptly and start shooting everywhere. But plumbers don't get paid enough. And I'm gonna tell you, water hit me in my face. Water that I did not know where it came from. Like it was spraying.
Oh shit!
Spraying everywhere. I'm panicking because when water starts coming out of nowhere, you just don't know what to do. So it got so bad, Ken. I was trying to plug the hole up with my thumb to try to see if I could stop the water, and I'm just like, wasn't happening. Yeah, I just looked stupid. Water was laughing at me. So I had to go out to the street and turn the water off, and that sucked because you know what? So what did we have last year that was big? A hurricane that just blew wind and sand and dirt and water everywhere. So inside of the meter box, filled with dirt, all kind of insects. So I'm pushing away like worms and.
Bro, there should be a shut off inside where your hot water heater is. There should be a shut off inside the hot water heater.
Don't tell me that.
Yeah, bro. Listen, HDA, bro, you have to. That's for.
What's up, JJ?
There's inside the hot water heater. If you see a whatever from the hot water heater, there's a pipe that goes from there to the wall. There's literally should be a shut off right there, just so you can just turn off the whole wall. So you don't have to go through that.
Hey, bro.
When you said you was dirty, I was confused. I was like,
bro, don't tell me that because I was legit. Yeah.
When you go in your house, when stay in your furnace room, there's a shut off for the out for it. You can just shut it off. Yeah, but that's needed. It's done now. So
the more you know. But went to Home Depot, got the part. Now, bad part is having these. So when you're a person with big hands, getting into small spaces is trash. So I can only put two. Black Panther, ladies and gentlemen. So I was only able to get two fingers inside of the area and try to. I had to hold it, plus hold the pliers and push at the same time. Yeah, plumbers. Whatever a plumber charge, pay them people. That's crazy. Anyway, we know why you're here. We're here to discuss the Black Panther film that shocked the world in 2018, February of 2018 to be exact. Man, listen, I probably watched this movie more than I don't know. I watched my life because I've seen this movie front to back to front, up and down. I have the Blu-ray, the DVD, the digital version, Funko Pops galore, comic books, of course, Okoye over here, the bald-headed demon. Um, this movie struck the world in a phenomenon, like in a truly phenomenal way, and it showed how much the black dollar could generate for one movie, like, when we all come together. But before we get into all that, let's go to introduce the show. What's up, everybody? We'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Popcorn in Your Beard podcast. I'm your host, Rashad, along with the crew.
It's Big Ken, 2G's, 2 N's, Spot.
And last but not least, I am the King MOE, aka Recast T'Challa. We're gonna scream
Big facts.
Until the Earth stops rotating the sun. Screaming that
big facts
all the time.
Big facts.
Get into the cast, man. Go down. Who is the cast?
Man. I'm gonna look it up because I know I'm gonna forget some people, but I probably could name most of them off the top of my head. If you really want to start, let's start off with the late great legend himself. Was a living legend on his way to doing so much more with his career. I mean, really just kind of came on the scene and took over and was just doing so many different things with his career. Boseman, rest in peace. Thank you for bringing this character to life. He is the number one cast member on here. Followed by Letitia Wright, Michael B. Jordan, Denai Guerrero, Lupita Nyong'o, Winston Duke, Daniel Kaluuya, Angela Bassett, Andy Serkis, Martin Freeman, Forrest Whitaker, Sterling K. Brown. God, man, just you want to talk about like a cast, like from top to bottom.
Stan Lee was in this thing.
Stan Lee did make an appearance. Wasn't a long appearance, but he did make it.
He was in there. That was it.
Yeah, that's all that mattered. But man, like you had maybe two white guys in this, 2, 3, if you count Stan Lee. The rest of the cast was
Agent Ross.
Yeah, the rest of the cast was blackity black. And that was beautiful, man, because you really didn't see anything like this on this level. There was never. So Blade was the first black comic book character to get a movie. Chrissy, I'm gonna touch on. I don't want to give that man too much credit, but anyway, but, hey, I'm gonna say some things that people not gonna agree with on this. But hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you like this. I took this movie very personal. But to bring this cast together, man, and to build this movie was something you had never seen in Hollywood before. Like you had cases where it was like Eddie Murphy who came together to build cast, and things like that. But there were never black directed movies. There were always a person of a white person directing it. Then you had, movies like made by Spike Lee, but they didn't get, the recognition that this movie got. This was the first time you saw $1 billion film on this magnitude. Blade couldn't touch that. Blade was a great character, and Wesley Snipes saved Marvel, which they should thank every single day. But you never saw this before. And it was always that you really couldn't make the black hero the main focus of it. He always had to be surrounded by somebody else. And this character, who it took 30 years to even bring to the screen, the big screen, never seen him before. Your first mainstream black superhero you didn't bring to screen for 30 years. And man, it took off like a phenomenon, man. Even before the movie came out, You had kids dressed up. You had them doing all kind of cosplay, dressing up as the characters. Man, it was beautiful. Like the premiere, everything was great. I saw this movie in the movie theater maybe 11 times. Don't judge me, judge mama. But man,
Definitely when you talk about the effect that this movie had, me and my wife made it a point to get Black Panther t-shirts. We dressed up. We went to the movies, you know what I'm saying? We took pictures out in front of the poster. The movie theater was packed. There was not one single vacant seat in there.
Never.
It was a whole thing. It was like an event. It was almost like going to see somebody perform live. You know what I'm saying? Like it was it ain't too many movies that moved me like that leading up to the release. So Black Panther on my list is absolutely, as far as movies that made me say, oh, I'm getting my ass up and I'm becoming a part of the movie before I even go to watch it. Black Panther's at the top of my list. I didn't give that much time and energy to any other movie that came out.
And I never will. I don't think you'll ever see that again. Bro, they were bringing outside food in the movie theater, and the people didn't even care. They didn't even care. They were having little buffets and all kind of stuff. You had schools buying out theaters. Like, it was crazy, bro.
People was dressing up in their and then like the tribal clothing and like the guards and stuff like that. I actually saw people, because there's a lot of African folks out here in Georgia, so it's like seeing people showing up barefoot with the joints on and shit like that. I was like, yo, this shit means something, bro. This shit is different.
It was definitely different. And I mean, go ahead.
All of the number one box office movies were Marvel movies. It was superhero movies. So it was like like before that, every year it was boom, superheroes, Civil War, all of those. So to see this one,
James Cameron though, Avatar.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because
because he'll shut this show down. Yeah. But he don't like superhero.
Other than James Cameron, but it was like you knew what the impact was going to be for any Marvel movie. So this one was like, yeah, we can. Like, I didn't even. That's the first time I didn't go to the open premiere, because for one, it was booked. I mean, I'm talking about. I've never seen the movie booked from morning time, nighttime, afternoon time for 2 weeks straight. I'm like, bro, for 2 weeks straight, there was no seats. I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah. So I literally didn't get to see it to maybe like after like the third week, maybe is when I see it. So I was like, bro, I was like, well, shit, when I'm like, movie. Then even still, it was still packed in the theater. I'm like, this is crazy.
Again, I was still watching it at that time, so don't feel bad.
Man, I was like, this is. But it was like, yeah, it was the impact of it, and it didn't disappoint. That's what was the best thing. Like it was, it didn't disappoint. It was like, yo, this is as great as we thought it was going to be.
You felt something. Everybody took something from it.
Every nationality, it didn't matter. You had white people dressing up with collars on, and then got the hats on. Like,
bro,
no movie's ever made an impact globally, in my opinion, than this movie. No other movie.
So no other main Marvel character with no like real pro. Because think about this, right? They only gave this movie a $200 million budget. Now, 200 mil might seem like a lot, but it's
not for a Marvel movie. It's not. Yeah, for a Marvel movie, it's on the lower end. It's on a. Let's just see what it does.
Because they were averaging 250. 300.
Civil War that he made it. It was like 300 million. I think it was like 325 million for Civil War.
This movie did $1.3 billion. 1.3 billion. And that's not even talking about merchandise. That's not talking about like other merch. That's not talking about stuff that they did for promos. You could see he was like, I don't know if this was because he was sick at the time, but you can see it on Chad's face every time, man. He got tired of doing it. So, everybody like, hey, do the thing.
But he was so humble with it, he would just do it because they would just walk up on him and do it. He would just, because that's what made him so great, because he knew the impact that he made on the world. Like, that's what sets him apart from everybody else. He
Absolutely.
knew it. He knew the impact that he had.
And this character meant a lot to him. Like he
meant
always
everything
said
to
that.
him.
He always said
everything.
that this character meant a lot to him.
And this was in the prime of his sickness, and I didn't even know it. Like nobody knew.
Nobody
did. He kept this shit on the wraps, bro.
Like this
And
was
you
the
gotta
prime of
think.
his sickness too. Like
You gotta think. The training for this.
Come on, man. He had to train.
He did a lot of his stunts.
And he was sick. He was sick for like the last 4 or 5 movies he did. He was sick, bro.
Yeah, and that
he got,
Marvel
and Chadwick got range, bro. Like, not to get off topic. I mean, as far as this is concerned, but I mean, this man did a black superhero, did Jackie Robinson, did
James Brown, Thurgood Marshall.
James Brown, Thurgood Marshall. I'm like, you want to talk about range?
Yeah. And don't sleep on that 21 Bridges either.
That's probably one of my favorite movies after Black Panther One. That's probably my
21 Bridges is fire.
21 Bridges is hard.
But I did like him. I mean, I liked a lot of the take on Marshall. Some of the stuff I was like, but I think he did an amazing job. Yeah. Now James Brown
he killed James Brown. Yeah.
And to know that man could sing.
James Brown to me was his best acting role. Like back, there was acting in Black Panther, but it wasn't acting. But James Brown, he had to act because like I said, he had to sing, he had to dance, he had to, James Brown to me was his best acting role. To me, because he had to act in James Brown because he had to have that personality. You had to have the voice, the acting skills, the singing skills. Like you said, nobody.
Mr. Bird.
Yeah, Mr. Bird. What's the consequence? What's the penalties for being late?
Yeah.
James Brown down there spoke his own language, bro. So it's like figuring that out.
That's worse than speaking with Kanye.
Margie. Now, see, he was just funny in that movie. He was more funny in that movie because he didn't care. He had no filter. He was an asshole in that movie.
Just kind of let loose in that one, which was dope, man. It's just dope to see. And like I said, man, just tying back to this movie, he was all about the black character. Now he did do a movie called Gods of Egypt, which
was like for 2 seconds. He was in there
which I absolutely erased from his IMDb page. Like, take that off. Don't even put that on there.
He played a genius.
That movie was terrible.
God, Jesus was horrible. Oh my God, Gerard,
but that's what happened when you have white Hollywood write a movie. But legitimately, man, him being in this movie, I was kind of worried. So the first time you see him is in Civil War, and you see him, man, and you think he's too small, but eventually you fall in love with the way that he acts with the character, the gravitas that he brings to the screen, the way that he's able to move and talk, and like he actually puts his own spin on that character. And it's just like, man, like I was excited for this character. And then it's like, because I didn't know he was going to be in Civil War, because you really didn't see it in the previews. You didn't know Spider-Man was going to be in the trailers. So when these two dropped, it was like, hey,
genius.
Movie.
It was genius.
we need the movie now. Like, we need the movie now.
Was Civil War the movie where his dad got killed in the terrorist attack?
Yes, that was the movie where Iron Man and not Iron Man, but Cap and Bucky jumped Iron Man because Bucky killed.
Bucky killed his pops in the back. So
they killed my mama. Hey, let's
but
jump.
At the beginning, that's why they separated. It was like they had team versus team, and now so T'Challa's after Bucky because he was like, "Hey, move, or I'm going." So that's when.
Because I believe outside of the the movie starts off in Oakland, California, where A young Killmonger is outside hooping with the homies. I mean, the movie doesn't introduce him as Killmonger, so off rip, we don't know who that is. We just know that they was outside late night, they was hooping, getting some shots up, and one of them look up and see the glow in the clouds. So then the movie cuts to what's my man name? Sterling K. Brown's character, Prince Njobu, who is T'Challa's uncle.
Doesn't exist, but yeah, go ahead.
Hey, I just work here. So him, Prince Njobu, and the younger version of Forrest Whitaker's character is in the trap. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, Wakandans, they have this weird notion where they know when they're in the presence of one another. Because, like, he senses, okay, somebody from the crib is here. So he tells Zuri to go open the door. And he was like, hey, it's two Grace Jones looking chicks out here holding spears. He was like, open the door because I promise you they are not going to knock again.
So question. So on this. So big thing with like the Dora Milaje, the Doran ones or whatever, they are the wives in waiting for the king. Whoever the king is, they're the wives in waiting. Just in case the queen, I don't know, she be out of there, she go on somewhere.
Plan B set up.
Yeah. So they changed up a little bit with this, which wasn't really a big problem because it didn't take away from the characters. Because the Doors, bro, if you get in a fight with one of them, it's like fighting 100 T'Challas because they all fight together. They're his bodyguards, so they got to be up to his level to fight. So when he was like, let them in, they ain't gonna knock again, bro, because they coming in. You either let them in that door or that's it for you. They're not taking no prisoners. So that little piece of gun you got, it ain't gonna do nothing. So what I did like though is they did introduce T'Chaka, which you didn't really. So in the comics, you don't really get to see T'Chaka like for the most part. Like he's in like a few issues, but you don't really see him like as an actual character. He's more so as a set piece to give, let's say, T'Challa a little bit of motivation to become who he is. And they kind of use it here, but they play their own way. So yeah, so you're right, Mo. James, he tells James, says, man, open the door. James lets him in, you know what I'm saying? And they check to see if the coast's clear, which I was like, all right, if you got T'Chaka coming in, I think you'll be all right. T'Chaka came in and that suit was bad. That was a bad suit. That was a bad suit with the gold trim and yeah. And he had the kente cloth across his, yeah. I was like, yeah, he's solid with that.
So he goes basically in and he was like, you know what I'm saying, what's up, bro? You know what I'm saying? I just pulled up just to check on you real quick, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Make sure you was straight. But aside from that, I did come here on business. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you see how I'm dressed, you know what I'm saying? I came here to stand on business. And he was like, hey, man. So Claw managed to get some vibranium, but the way he did it, he couldn't have just stumbled on it. Like somebody had to give him the drop for him to get that vibranium, cuz. So I'm not even asking you if you had something to do with it. I just need you to look me in my eye and tell me the truth. It's like when your mama say, I already knew the question. I just asked you just to see what you was going to say. And he was like, man, big bro, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
So Claw just
he just happened to get it, you know.
You feel me?
Also I'm lying. Oh, okay.
So I'm stupid now.
Okay, I got
So
it. Okay,
stupid now. Okay.
watch this. You play. I would have swung on him immediately.
So
I would have swung on
Prince
homie
and
immediately, bro.
Jobu, that was
That's
racist.
messed up,
So
G.
Prince and Jobu had no idea. Yes, Ken, that was racist. Prince and
No, it
Jobu
wasn't. That's what he said.
Prince and Jobu had no idea that James was a Wakandan. So King T'Chaka reiterated, like, you know, we got spies out here. You know this. So to think that you was out here moving the way you was moving, thinking wasn't nobody gonna see you for you to be held accountable, you know what? Don't worry about it. Go ahead and come back to the crib. You're gonna face the council so you can inform them of your crimes. So he go to leave. He up the strap on T'Chaka.
Well, wait. So you don't see that part yet,
right?
You don't see that part until later on when Killmonger is selling his story. So at this point, you see they look up and they see the plane. They don't see the plane. They see some lights take off. So they don't know what it is. And at that point, that's when you know the credits run and you go to T'Challa and Okoye in the plane, and she getting ready to grab her spear. He like, hey, I got it. You got it.
Because
they got to get Nakia.
What's Lupita? What's Lupita's name?
They got to get Nakia.
Nakia.
Yeah.
Because she got her and some other villagers got kidnapped, and they had this big old like 6-7 truck convoy. And
remember, she's a spy, so she didn't get kidnapped. She's undercover as a kidnappee.
And the only reason why T'Challa had to swoop in and go get her was so that he can inform her, hey, my pops is dead. They're crowning me king of Wakanda tomorrow, and I want you to be there. But to throw a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? But just for a little comedic whatever you want to call it. So prior to him dropping down out of the ship, everybody knows
which was dope.
Everybody knows that you got a thing for Nakia. So they was like, when you see her, don't freeze.
Okay, so
this is what yamming, the skin gonna be chocolatey and shiny. That was like, bro, do not freeze.
The skin gonna be chocolatey and skin.
You feel
so
me?
this was where I ran into this is why I ran into my second problem with the film. So Nakia, aka Malice, is not in the comics. She's a stalker girlfriend of T'Challa. He don't want nothing to do with it. Now, it's hard for me to take my mind over that because Lupita fine as frogs here. But also the issue I had, bro, when it comes to battles, you not really breaking T'Challa like that. He ain't gonna freeze for nothing. Like, so I get what they were doing. It was for a comedic effect, so I get that part.
Hey, when you see your girl, don't freeze. You can go down there and you can slap everybody's nose off, but when you see Lupita,
he definitely did. He definitely killed her.
Have your head on straight.
He wasn't pulling no Batman. He was killing left and right. He like people was getting unalived, like fast. And the only part I didn't like is the fact that it was too dark. Like they could have toned the contrast up a little bit, even though I get the effect because there are no lights in the jungle. So the only time you was seeing them is with the flashlight, you know, which was dope because it gave that feel of presence, like he's a predator, like he's coming to get you, like, and you can't see a panther at night anyway. If it see you, it gonna see you.
You're
You
like,
ain't gonna see it.
y'all chose to make this movie at night, so that's when I got to come get you.
Yeah. But it was very so. I will say I love the use of technology in this. When he comes down out of the plane and he throws those
beads.
What are the beads? Or, yeah. So he throws like some I guess electromagnetic pulse things that like shut down the trucks. So like that's gonna stop everything, stop the convoy. So he gets down there and automatically just starts putting foot to butt. They are shooting every single bullet at this man, and it is bouncing off. Because of his armor is woven with vibranium, which yeah. So he gets Nikhil. You know, she like, hey man, you ruined my mission, cuz. You like, man, my daddy died. She like, dang.
I need you to pull up to the service.
I can't give you no booty, but I can come with you though. Cause you know, she was trying to hold the yams, you know what I'm saying, the whole movie.
You feel me?
But yeah, so they get up in the plane, and bro, I tell you what, like the scene of them going into the city and like the force field coming down, them going into the city, bro. You seeing the city for the first time. I kid you not, like, and I don't think the CGI was perfect because, like I said, they're dealing with $200 million budget, and it wasn't perfect. But the feeling you get when you see it for the first time,
because he even said this part never gets old.
And for the audience, it didn't, man. Like you saw, like grown people's, like, dang, like that's. I want to stay there.
And before I get too far ahead of myself, actually, the movie started off with a voice narrating the story of how there was a meteor floating through space, made of vibranium, and crash lands on Earth, hits Africa. They were already aware of vibranium being the strongest substance in the world. It was floating around on the meteor in space. It just happened to hit Africa, and that's how it became a resource for them to use because it crash landed on Earth. And their idea of now that this is something that we are using for our everyday lives, for our defense, for our protection, for our way of living, we don't want anybody to know that we have this. So we are going to use vibranium to advance our technology so that we can build our community in Wakanda and hide Wakanda in plain sight.
And Wakanda basically took all that away and threw it in the trash can. Like, huh? I'll never forgive that movie. I'll never forgive that movie. But yeah, man, the claymation that they used to do that beginning story was dope.
Absolutely,
it was really dope.
And they pretty much talked about how it basically told the story of how they got the very first Black Panther.
Bashinga.
Mm-hmm. That shit was fire.
Well, they didn't say it, but that's what.
So,
which I hope they do a movie for. I'd love to see a Bashinga movie. Because I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. They talk about all these former Black Panthers. It's really only been one.
T'Challa. It ain't like 007 where it was just
no. It's really only like, yes, they talk about them, but there's no other books written about them. Like there's no book about Bashinga. Like there's like a couple issues about Shuri being Black Panther, but for the most part, bro, it's one person. Yeah, but
so we get to the point where T'Challa and Okoye and Nakia make it back to Wakanda, and this is where we meet the Queen Mother, Angela Bassett's character. You know what I'm saying? And Shuri, she is super unserious for the most part. Like she's always cracking jokes. She's always upbeat. And she was like, "Hey, my brother froze, didn't he?" She was like an antelope in the headlights.
And once again, my issue, bro. Okay, so I understood the whole little sister aspect that they were taking with it, but like you take a character like Shuri, who is known for her tactical stuff, like bro,
Very tech savvy.
she no.
She's the smartest character. I thought.
No, she's not.
Is she? Who is she? I thought she was.
You talking about in the MCU? Or what are we talking about?
MCU. I thought she was the smartest.
No, Reed Richards.
After Reed Richards. After Reed Richards.
No, because you got Valeria Richards, you got Tony Stark, you got Doctor Doom. To be honest, it's a lot. It's a lot that go into that. But so they changed her character from what she was, because she was basically a warrior. Like she always wanted to be like T'Challa. She wanted to be the Black Panther because she was young. She always saw T'Challa training to be this person. So that's who she kind of looked up to. T'Challa is actually one of the smartest people in comics. If you really want to be technical about it, Shuri isn't on that list. But when Coogler wrote this, he changed that to have Shuri be the tech genius, which I get it. But if you're going to go the story of her becoming the Black Panther, it doesn't quite mix. But she was the smart Alex sister, his half sister, because Queen Ramonda is his stepmother. T'Challa's actual mother died at birth, childbirth. So continue.
So then now it's just the build up to T'Challa becoming the king. And before a king can be crowned in Wakanda, they have a ceremony, which is ritual combat. So at this point, T'Challa, nobody is prepared to see anybody challenge T'Challa. T'Challa pretty much told him, hey, we got a game at 6:00, but the other team ain't gonna make it. So you still got to suit up. You still got to put your uniform on. You still got to go. You know what I'm saying? Go to the layup line, warm up. But when it's time for the ref to do tip ball, if the other team don't show up, then you automatically get the dub. So he was down there. He was in place. Everybody was in place. Everybody from the hood was like, hey, I'm King MOE from the South Side. We're not challenging. All right, cool. Respect, salute. Hey, yo, what's up, y'all? I'm Big Ken from the West Side. We not challenging today. Respect, big dog, salute. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Rashad from the North Side. We not challenging. T'Challa isn't expecting smoke from anybody. It's just supposed to be. We just got to go through the motions because that's what we're supposed to do in the event that somebody did want to challenge. But we weren't expecting nobody to challenge, so it was like, okay, whatever. So Zuri was like, all right, bet. Everybody put their guns down. Ain't nobody set tripping. So I have to ask one last time, will there be one? And then the chants start echoing through the caves.
Master.
And the Goon Squad came through there. And it was M'Baku.
Mm-hmm.
Leader
of the Jabari Nation.
Yes.
I know you want to. What he said? I know you want to hand the nation over to this prince who could not keep his own father safe.
It was like, M'Baku, what are you doing here? He was like, it's challenge day.
It's challenge day.
We have sat back and watched your technological advances
be in the hands of a child. He called her a child.
Right. Yeah.
And basically he told T'Challa, like, yo, bro, you let your daddy die. this your king? This your king? He said that this your king before anybody. He was like, oh, this your king? You let his daddy die? They let his daddy die out there? Okay, whatever. I get you. So T'Challa was like, hey, man, hey, we can run it. Me and you. Let's go.
And I just want the record to show. Because first of all, there were a lot of terrible accents in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say a lot of terrible accents. There were a lot of people who were terrible at trying to use the accent.
Mm-hmm.
Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, big trash. Big trash. What my man said, M'Baku, what are you doing here? Hey, bro. Hey, chill out.
It's challenged.
It's challenged.
I'm about to put what he said.
It's challenged day. It was his line delivery was a bit harsh. You know, everybody wasn't the greatest at dialogue, but
and I get it.
Was a bit harsh.
You know what I'm saying? But you not finna not be a part of this movie. That's
the strength of the Black Panther will be stripped away. Hey, cuz, what part of Wakanda you from?
Hey,
what part of Wakanda you from? All right.
So T'Challa and M'Baku start squaring up. They engage in fisticuffs.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, M'Baku started putting belt to ass. And you know, in dramatic fashion, T'Challa had to get back with it, you know what I'm saying, get his head back in the game, put him in the chokehold and say, hey, I got this Cobra clutch on you, bro. And the only way you getting out is if you tap. You know what I'm saying? You got people back at the crib that depend on you. You got people to protect. Don't lose this match. Don't lose this challenge by me killing you because you got too much pride. Just tap. Like Buddy said in the what was that Michael J. White movie? He was like, hey, tap before I break it.
Oh, yeah.
Tap or I break it.
He ain't tap either. He definitely broke it.
Baku tapped.
I would also like to say that you can't take the heart-shaped herb out of you once. I just need people to understand. That was another Kuglerism. Once you ingest the heart-shaped herb,
you can have.
He was like, I'm gonna give you this grape juice that's going to temporarily disable the effects.
You would need a whole new.
It's going to strip it away temporarily.
You need a whole new episode of all the Ryan Coogler, whatever you call it.
It's Kuglerisms, bro.
Kuglerism, bro.
Yeah,
that's okay because you'd be over there burning up.
I absolutely refuse to talk about the Mufasa. I'm not doing that. I'll sit and watch y'all talk about it, but Jesus Christ.
I've never seen it.
I think from him emerging victorious in Challenge Day, I think that's when they transition to
going to the plane,
feeding him once again the heart-shaped herb so that he could go to the ancestral plane.
Right, which was actually really dope.
He goes to the ancestral plane, super fire.
Those colors, man.
That house colors is crazy.
Those colors in that suit.
So he pretty much enters this dream-like state, and he turns around and there's a tree full of Black Panthers. So the one that jumps down to approach him is his father, Baba. And he's pretty much saying, look, I'm not ready to do this without you. I'm scared, I'm nervous, which is normal.
Absolutely.
And you know what I'm saying? So his dad had to be like, hey, man, what did he say? What was the line?
He said, stand up, you're a king.
It was something along the lines of,
Oh, you're talking about when he was
As a parent, if a parent who does not train their child for their death has failed, and he said, "Have I failed you?"
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? That was some deep shit right there.
Yep. It's some good, like it's some really good deep dialogue in here. What's up, Kiana? It's some really good deep dialogue in here. I have my moments where I just, I let certain stuff slide because I just know, like, movies, with certain movies you can't copy directly from the transcript, but it's like certain things are what makes the Black Panther character the Black Panther character. And it's like if you take those things away, like you kind of stripped him away, you run into problems. But I think this scene, honestly, I think this scene was one of the dopest scenes in the movie, because of the fact that you had John Carney come back to reprise his role as T'Chaka. His son actually played T'Chaka in the beginning of the movie. So,
and one thing I will say about the way Ryan Coogler casted this movie, I like how T'Challa actually favored the young version of T'Chaka at the beginning of the movie. I love
that was John Carney's son.
Right. So I love how you can see the resemblance from T'Challa to the young T'Chaka at the beginning of the movie when he pressed the issue with Prince Njoku. I love the fact that the young version of Killmonger actually looked like Michael B. Jordan if he was like 10 years old. Like, I love how they actually look alike.
He looked like him in Creed too.
Yeah, they actually look alike. And I was like, I fucks with it.
He looked like him in Creed. That's why I was like, you're the same little dude that plays Michael B. Jordan in Creed. Okay, yeah, same dude.
It might have been.
It's the same little boy. Yeah,
and at this point, I think we're at the point of the movie where Killmonger was at the museum looking at the artifacts.
So before you go there, so it's a part that so after T'Challa gets back, he's going to meet with Shuri because he's supposed to go meet with the council after he gets from the spirit place. And basically she's giving him this rundown of, oh yeah, I got you a new suit, it's gonna be nanotech. And you really didn't see the use of nanotech much in this. Like, you saw a little bit in Iron Man, but like not to this level. And basically what she was saying that, because you didn't see nanotech from Tony until Endgame, or no, Infinity War, which was after this movie. But Shuri is telling him about this, and she's like, "Yo, man, you got to upgrade on your technology, and
you got to upgrade everything.
You got to upgrade everything. You know what I'm saying? You got people shooting at you, like, yo, put the helmet on. Why you got them shoes on? Which was cool,
like,
man. Like,
old school for my first day,
which was cool because you have her basically like trying to bring T'Challa out of his traditional stuff. What's up?
I just want to point out real quick that there was a game night we did a while back, dad jokes. I just want to say, I just want the record to show that this scene inspired one of Rashad's dad jokes. Because when she put his feet in the shoes that absorb sound, she was like, guess what I call them? She was like, guess what I call them?
Sneakers.
But Rashad's joke was slippers, but same thing.
Sleepers.
Like, guess what I call them? I said, look, Rashad, you different.
Sleepers. But she's basically giving him the rundown on a new suit, and so he has to meet he's going over to meet him. Nakia and Okoye are going across seas to meet with somebody who's buying, or they got some kind of intel that somebody's buying something, so they're going to meet up with them.
So I think that conversation came from Shuri saying, "Look, you're going to need a new suit because you know what I'm saying, this, that, and the third." So she shows him the new designs. He picks a design, and it was the whole thing where she was like, "Strike the suit." He kicked it across the lab, and then she was showing him like how the suit absorbs energy and redistributes it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go to talk about somebody that then was the scene where they was at the museum and
because they said they spotted Claw.
Yeah, so he was like, "What's this?" And the lady was like, "Well, this is an ancient artifact from this and that and the third." He was like, "Okay, well, how about this one?" And she was like, "Yeah, this is from here, from this century and this time." And he was like, "Okay, all right, bet. This one." And she was like, "Yeah, that's from Juanita from Crenshaw made that." And he was like, "Nah, that ain't where that's from." And she got offended, like, "Did you really just walk in my job and tell me that I'm wrong about this?" And he was like, "Yeah, this is from Wakanda." So then that's when the nigga started coming out in his voice, like his tone of voice. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave." And she started choking on the coffee. Come to find out, it's an inside job. He put something in the coffee. She choking. Homegirl walking the hot dog stand was like, "Hey, I'm about to go take a break." She jammed up the cameras, and this scene reveals that Michael B. Jordan's character, the young lady's character, everybody's working with Claw to retrieve this Wakandan artifact from this venue so that they can go sell it to somebody in Korea. So, because like King T'Chaka said at the beginning of the movie, like, we got spies everywhere. So somebody gets to drop on Claw. There was like, he retrieved this Wakandan artifact from someplace, and he found a buyer in Korea. He's going to go sell it tomorrow night. So they're like, "Okay, we got to go get Claw." So this is when Daniel Kaluuya's character was like, "Yo, please let me come with you because Claw, like, he killed my family." And T'Challa was like, "Nah, I need you here defending the border." So he was like, "All right, bet. I just ask you for one favor. Either A, kill Claw where he stands, or 2, bring him back to Wakanda." And T'Challa was like, "Bet, you got my word. If don't nobody in the world feel you, I feel you. You want smoke with Claw? If I was you, I want smoke with him too. Bet. We going to Korea." So they go to Korea. They go to the nightclub. And this is where the movie introduces Agent Ross. Now, Agent Ross already knows who T'Challa is. They know each other very well, to the point where when Agent Ross saw T'Challa, he was like, "Fuck, you here? This cannot be good." He was like, "I need you to XYZ, don't do this, don't do that, blah, blah, blah." T'Challa leaned over to him and was like, "Hey, cuz, hey, look, let me tell you something.
What's up,
I came here on a mission. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm not going to do."
Do you know why?
I didn't come here to make a deal.
Hands and feet on Bucky.
He was like, "Agent Ross, I hear what you're talking, but I ain't come here for none of that. You've been warned." You know what I'm saying? So then we meet Claw. Well, we don't meet Claw, but this is when the movie introduces Claw at the nightclub scene. But I think the first time we ever meet Claw was
Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron.
Ultron took his hand.
Ultron doesn't take his time.
He did, when he
you know who takes his hand? You know who takes his hand?
In the comic books or in the movie?
Oh, forearm.
Yeah, sure.
He
took it in a stupid way.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, Ultron was wasted. Ultron was wasted. Ultron is one of the most scariest characters in Marvel.
Because he said you remind him of Tony Stark. He said, "You mind
Ultron was
like,
literally AI.
Give me the hand,
Yeah.
G. Yeah, let me get the hand up off him,
Yeah.
G.
Like Ultron threw hands with Jarvis.
Yeah, Ultron should have been. Yeah, but
He should have been way more diabolical than
we're not gonna talk.
But so Age of Ultron is where we meet Claw for the first time. So if you've never seen Age of Ultron, then you're not going to.
Don't worry about it.
But I'm saying for context, as it applies to this movie, because if you're going to think, okay, here's this guy.
Well, if you don't know who Claw is, yes.
And then you see that this man has a prosthetic arm with a vibranium cannon built inside, and you're thinking, okay, well, how did this happen?
Oh yeah,
but if you've never seen Age of Ultron, you can't put that together. But Claw was like the drunk uncle that just laughs at everything and don't take it serious.
Showed up to the party drunk. He wanted to sell his mixtape, and Agent Ross was like, "Bro, I don't want to hear your music."
Agent Ross was like, "What you doing? Dropping a mixtape?" He was like, "Yeah, you want the link to the SoundCloud?"
I don't want to hear his music. I don't want to hear his
what?
Music. So he pulls out this clump of vibranium that was part of a axe or a hammer or something like that, and he's like, "Oh man, I would have put it in a briefcase, but there you go." So it's a double, triple cross or whatever because people showed up to get Claw. So everybody kind of breaks out in a fight, and I will give Ryan Coogler this: the fight with Okoye
was cold
with the spear and her and shooting down, and that was dope. That was dope. I give him that, man. I give him that. So of course they all putting hands and feet on these people because they Wakandans, they can fight. They putting the brakes on. So Claw take off or whatever because he goes face to face with T'Challa, and T'Challa like, hey, wait, no. What was messed up was, and see, this is why I really wish they would have had T'Challa take Claw's arm because he was like, you look just like your old man. I swear, you look just like. And this man proceeds to take an energy blast towards T'Challa, and luckily he blocks it. But as he takes off, T'Challa runs out sprinting on this man. And that's when Shuri's driving the truck or the car. And she's helping out T'Challa.
From her lab.
And the chase scene is dope. The music in this movie is unmatched. Like, I don't think Kendrick did his big one on this one. Like, everybody talk about Kendrick music now. Kendrick did his big one on the Black Panther soundtrack. If you haven't heard the whole soundtrack, but also the music,
the song that he got on the soundtrack, he performed it at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because we'll get to that part because that part always gets me emotional. That all of the stars or something like that. SZA that sing with those thick fine. But anyway, but also the musical score is just dope.
So Okoye and Nakia jump in the whip, and then Shuri is driving the whip remotely from her lab, and they're chasing down Claw.
Mm-hmm. And you got Nakia and Okoye driving, and then you got T'Challa on top of a car while Shuri's driving. Because
what would being in Korea be without a car chase?
That's facts.
Without a little bit of Fast and Furious in there. I mean, we in Korea. That's fact.
Well, my man, she was like, "Yo, check your suit. It's building up the energy." So he's like, "Hey, swing around this car real quick." Swings around the car, and you get the shot from the trailer of him pouncing on the one car and using the energy to blow it up. As it tumbles, he hops back on the car. Like I said, I'm gonna give it to Ryan Coogler. Man, he was doing his thing on certain things. So I thought this was dope too. So Okoye gets out, stands on the roof, throws a spear through a car, and stops the car mid. Even Claw was like, "Hey, yo, take a hike."
Yeah, because once her spear went into
Take
the
her
concrete, the car hit it. The spear didn't even flinch.
Yeah, take her out. Take her out of the game. Shoot the car up. So
they blew it up.
Yeah,
the kid came sliding down with the steering wheel.
They blew up the car. So T'Challa, they blow up the other car. T'Challa bounces off, slides on, runs up like a billboard or something like that. Lands on the other car, slashes the tires, and the car goes tumbling.
And he pulled the
tires
off.
Now, when I tell you this was the T'Challa moment I wanted. When that man walked up on Claw, ripped his arm off, and Spartan kicked this man in the chest. He said, he was like, hey, King Mercy. He was like, every breath you breathe is mercy for me. And he was about to, but you know, the girls walked on. They were like, hey man, King,
the world is watching.
Now, I will tell you like this: comic book T'Challa would still kill that.
People out there like this.
Hey, comic book T'Challa would have unallowed that man. Like right there, he wouldn't even care.
Waved at the cameras.
He wouldn't even care. Oh, we going back. We going. All right, we'll see y'all at Wakanda. We out. Yeah, we out. So they get Agent Ross comes up, they get Claw to a holding cell, and Claw is in there having the time of his life. That man is on he's on drugs. He's on drugs.
The good kind.
Drugs. So Claw, Agent Ross goes in there and starts, interrogating Claw. T'Challa puts a wire on him, because him and Okoye like, hey, she like
unbeknownst to him.
Hey, when the part when Ross touched T'Challa, and she said,
if he touches you
boy,
I'm going to impel him to that death.
Why I kill you right where you stand? Did he just touch you?
Even he was tripping. He was like, she was like,
did he just touch you? Like, hey, you did he just touch you? He put she had like she had like a mama. Somebody just touched a
newborn baby.
Hey,
put your hands on my baby.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt
baby,
me.
Don't hurt me.
No
more.
So Agent Ross. So in Agent Ross's mind, Wakanda is this poor, bottom of the barrel, third world country.
He was saying that to Claw. He knew what it was. He was saying that
Claw was like, are you serious? They put vibranium in their cereal for breakfast. They sold vibranium into their clothes. Their cars run off vibranium. They Glock switch. They don't need Glock switches. They got vibranium. They eat it. They drink it. They swim in it. They wear it. They take baths in it. They use it for good Wi-Fi. They literally use it for everything. He was like, "Are you telling me that I took all the vibranium?
I took it all? Nah,
I took a grain of sand off of an iceberg. They got mountains."
But that he didn't know. He probably was like, because to him, he had a whole.
Now he knew about the whole. He knew about T'Challa thing. He was like, something up, something different, whatever. He didn't know it was that deep though.
Yeah,
he didn't know it was that deep.
Real.
He was like, got that much.
Yeah, he didn't know it was that deep. So, you got T'Challa out there listening, he like, hey man, we might have to get him up out of here. He's talking too much.
He was like, don't worry about it. We're taking him back to Congress. He was like, you can't do that. You're under my jurisdiction.
He's like, we taking him back to Wakanda. Now you can, however you want to deal with that.
Hey, look, you just got to go back to your boss, go back to your job and tell your boss,
hey man, we lost him. We lost him. I don't know what to tell you.
Because that's the exact same thing that T'Challa told Daniel Kaluuya. He was like, hey man, you came back empty-handed, didn't you? He was like, hey, my bad, bro. He slipped through our hands. He was like, slipped? What you mean slipped?
Because
your father was the king for 30 years and didn't do nothing. With you, I thought it was going to be different, but it was much of the same.
Which sucks because like they actually didn't get this man enough like credit. But before he went back to Wakanda, you have Killmonger in a sprinter van, like circling the thing because Claw's arm has a tracking feature in it. So Killmonger used the mask they took earlier, put some dynamite on the thing, blows out the wall. They get Claw out there. He's like spraying up the place. T'Challa's trying to block the bullets from people. They were shooting at Nakia. Ross jumps in the way, blocks the bullet, gets hit in the back, in the spine. And then he shoots a grenade at T'Challa, which was weird because he shoots a grenade. T'Challa jumps on it, blocks it. He's running after him. He gets shot again, but the vibranium suit didn't repel that one. It knocked him out, which I was like, that's not supposed to happen like that if he already has the energy built up in the suit. But they get away, and that's when T'Challa goes back and he's like, yeah, man, I lost.
Well,
man. It was like,
he got him. Didn't he get away because he knows old boy had the same chain as him? That's why he stopped. He kind of was like, "Yo, hold on."
No, so he shot him. He shot him with the thing while he was on the ground. He looked and saw he had the chain.
But when they're like a pivotal point though, he was like, "Hey, fam, what do you mean my pops got this? Wait, hold on, G. Something special about that." Like,
yes, even though they're not related. Yeah, they're not related at all. But yeah, so he goes back to Wakanda. They basically telling everybody what happened. So at this point, Killmonger, Claw, and his girl are all headed towards a plane. And this is what I wanted people to understand about Killmonger's character. Everybody, oh, he's a revolutionary. He's this and he's that. This man let his shorty get popped. Well, he popped him. He shot him. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, hey, shoot. She was like, man, I'm sorry. He was like, shoot. Bye.
He was like, don't worry, it's gonna be okay.
And it wasn't okay. So he shot her, shot Claw in the process. And he's telling them, hey man, which I'm kind of confused on because how did he get the marks inside of his mouth? Because you got to be in Wakanda to get those. But I said, okay, whatever.
You got him as a kid.
You got to be in Wakanda. He was never been to Wakanda.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. Prince and Joe did something, but where the friction started was when they was loading all the bags onto the plane, and they were going to go wherever they were going to go. And Killmonger was like, "All right, bet that's cool. Just drop me off in Wakanda on the way." And Claw was like, hey, "Crazy dude, the fuck would I do that for?" Then that's when the friction started. Then they had the gunfight. He got the ups on Claw and was basically telling them like it's a reason why I asked you to drop me off in Wakanda. So Claw in that moment is talking to Killmonger about Wakanda as if he doesn't know anything about it. So Killmonger was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and kill all that noise. And then Claw was like, you know what? The way you've been moving, all that shit makes sense now. And here I am thinking you was just another crazy American or whatever he said.
He is, though.
Very Americanized Wakanda. But I will say, Michael B. Jordan did a great job playing the bad guy in this movie. But he doesn't necessarily, once again, I've been using this comparison for the last couple movies we did, but the relationship between T'Challa and Killmonger was like on some Scar Mufasa type shit. In a way, not exactly, but it's like, but the thing that they did with Killmonger that they did not do with Scar, that I appreciate, is there's a tiny bit of a redemption arc for Killmonger in this movie where Ryan Coogler wasted no time illustrating this is the reason why he moves the way he does. As a child, he found his father dead in his living room and had no idea why. King T'Chaka left that little boy behind with nobody to be his overseer, to take care of him, to make sure he got what he needed, nothing. He just clapped his brother, left his nephew.
Didn't his father tell him about Wakanda? He couldn't have gave him that. because he knew
He
about
did. He did.
Wakanda.
He
Right?
did tell him about Wakanda when he was a kid.
No,
He did
how
tell
he
him.
gonna how he gonna give him that without kind of technology? You
Yeah,
get
They kind of
so when you get that when you
glazed over
get those, you're a war dog. So war dogs have the lip tattoo. So they're the ones that are sent out to, you know, check and stuff, and that's when you come back. You know you have your lip thing. So it wouldn't have made sense for him to do it, but you know.
So
Because
Killmonger.
who tattoos their kid? No, go ahead.
he had it somehow.
So Killmonger shows up to Wakanda's doorstep with Claw in a body bag. And it just so happens that Daniel Kaluuya's character is the one who greets him and was like, "Nigga, hey, who are you, bro? And how did you get here? Like, how'd you, like who gave you my address?
Patrol.
Like, who gave you this address, cuz? Like, we ain't order no pizza." He was like, he was like, what's that? He was like, I just got a little gift for you. So he goes and looks and sees his claw, and it's like, damn. T'Challa just fumbled the bag on bringing this man here. And here you are, never seen before, don't know you from a can of paint. And you pull up with my mother and my father's killer. All right, bet. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna handcuff you, I'm gonna apprehend you, and I'm gonna take you inside. So they go inside to T'Challa's chamber where his throne is, where all the old heads is in there, the Queen Mother's in there, and everybody looking like, who is Cub?
I don't like the way they wrote it where people could talk crazy to T'Challa in this movie. I still don't like it. Never liked it. Because what you're not gonna do is talk crazy to the king. And you had people on the council talking crazy to him. You had his friends talking crazy to him. Like, bro, like, Wakabi was supposed to be his best friend. That, like, and for him to betray him in the way that he did, it was foul. But you know, it's movie writing. We gotta add drama to something, and we gotta, you know, make best friends, which they were, you know, battle each other, fight each other, whatever the case may be.
I played basketball with you. You can't dunk. He can dunk. So I'm on his team.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
So they was like, well, what do you want? He was like, I want the throne. They started laughing like, nigga, like what? What kind of demand is that? So he was like, yeah, I'm exercising my birthright. So then buddy with the plate, the super old uncle with the plate lip was like, this nigga ain't no Wakanda. I was like, you gotta be Wakanda to even be, you know what I'm saying, to even line this up. So he was like, that's a bet. Ask me who I am. Because with that culture, anytime you introduce yourself in battle or anytime somebody asks you who you are, you have to say what your name is and who your father is. That's why this movie could have never, there could never be like a modern day equivalent of this movie because half of us don't know who our daddies is first. Like I am King MOE, son of.
Hey yo, bro.
What my daddy name?
Hey yo, bro. Yo. Hey yo.
Bro, hey, my bad, my fault.
I'm King MOE, son of shit. Your guess is as good as mine.
Bitch, what? Oh my God.
shit. Is this my corner right here? Yeah. Let me. Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm good. Yeah.
Bro, what's wrong with you? Like, what's wrong with you?
Let me put on my little
Like,
dunce cap.
So, all right. So at this point, you are in the throne room while Eric Killmonger is being held captive. Shuri comes out and she starts running down. Oh, your special forces, whatever. Blah. He says, "Now ask me my name. Ask me my name, princess." And then for the first time, Michael B. Jordan speaks in an African dialect.
Up was like, man, bump this. Who are you, guy?
For the first time, Michael B. Jordan speaks in African dialect, which him and Forrest Whitaker. Just because, brother, you can't take the California out that man voice. But so everybody starts looking crazy when he says who he is. He's like, "Yeah, I'm the son of Prince Njobu." Doesn't exist.
Hey, auntie.
Yeah, and you have the classic line of "Hey, auntie," thrown out there towards Angela Bassett, which wouldn't be his auntie because she'd be step auntie. But yeah, so he challenges for the throne, and they're like, "Well, you got to give it to him because he has the thing," and he tells T'Challa, "Yo, you ain't the son of a king, you the son of a murderer. Your dad, I found my dad with Panther claws in him." So you get that part, and then next thing you know, they're at the falls because he's like, "Yo, we can do this right now. We ain't gotta wait. We're gonna do this right now." Then they go to the falls, and he's like, "T'Challa, hey man, look, we ain't gotta do this." He's like, "Man, shoot, I've been training for this all my life. I killed all these people just to get to you. What's up?"
So prior to the ritual combat, there's a scene where T'Challa approaches Zuri, and he's in the garden of the heart-shaped herb.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to Zuri and is like, "So we need to have a conversation."
Mm-hmm.
Because the man who just brought Claw's dead body to our doorstep had the same ring on his finger that both me and my father had. There's only one way he could have got that ring. And Zuri is trying to deflect. He's trying not to talk about it. And T'Challa puts his back, pretty much presses the issue, and was like, "Hey, we need to have this conversation." And he was like, "I ain't gonna hold you. Your pops told me not to say nothing. The king
I am the king now.
I am your king now." So,
well, once again, like I said, I don't like the way people be talking to each other.
So he was like, "You know what? I respect that." So he starts to tell the story about how T'Challa's brother, Prince Njobu, was a war dog. And it goes back to the opening scene where T'Chaka pulls up on him to press the issue to say, "Hey, we need to take you back to the crib so that you can inform everyone of your crimes." And he was basically trying to defend himself, saying there was justification for me doing what I did, this, that, and the third, yada, yada, yada. King T'Chaka wasn't trying to hear all that. So, like I mentioned in the movie, like I mentioned at the beginning of the review, buddy that Prince Njobu had in the apartment with him was James, was Zuri. But Njobu did not know that he was a Wakanda. So he was like, "Damn, not only did I lie to the king, but I didn't know you was like, there was no, like, that's how the king got the drop on me because of him."
Mm-hmm.
So T'Challa is like, "So You lied to me about how Prince and Jobu got clapped. You kept all this information from me because my dad told you speak nothing of this day. But the bigger issue is, for one, when Prince and Jobu had a son, you clapped him, didn't even bring his son home. When you left, you could have brought him with you. Now he's lived his whole life with all this resentment, all this anger, all this hate, all this smoke, all this get back. He's lived his whole life. His whole mission in life is, I'm going to make my way back to Wakanda one way or another, and when I get there, it's going to be smoke in the city. So because of my father's decision to leave him there, like this, he might be a monster of our making. Like, we're responsible for him moving the way he does and him acting the way he does. We can't blame him for acting like this at this point. We could have prevented this when he was on that basketball court playing, hooping with the homies as a child. We could have prevented all of this. Now he's a monster and it's our fault. And now this man is trying to take my throne from me because of a mistake y'all made 25 years ago. Come on. Come on. And Zuri said it right there. He said we had to maintain the lie. And T'Challa's like, and now this nigga want to fight me. Now he want to fight me and take this entire kingdom. Then we get to the falls. He was like, I'm going to give you one last chance to change your mind. He was like, bro, I waited my whole life for this moment. Every mark on my body represents a kill. From times when I was in Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, even people that I've killed right here in the homeland. All this death just so I could kill you. So just as much as Killmonger was the bad guy in this movie, like, having that background information, that's like, bro, you can't blame him. I go upstairs, my daddy did, and I had to fend for myself my whole life.
Sometimes, you know,
with no explanation.
Yeah, I mean, once he killed James, it should have been over with. Kill you too, Uncle James.
He couldn't even look at him before the start of the match, because it's like damn, like this really came back to bite me in my ass after all
Uncle
these
James
years.
is crazy.
This really came back to bite me in the ass. And then when Killmonger was about to decapitate T'Challa, he intervened when he wasn't supposed to. He was like, "Hey, man, I'm responsible for your father's death. Take me." He was like, "I'm taking both of y'all." Hell, you talking about? And then that's when the next super quotable line comes. "This is your king."
So I was talking with one of my friends about the two character dynamics of T'Challa and Killmonger in this, and it kind of feels like Ryan Coogler wanted to make Michael B. Jordan the main character, make him the more popular character, the more likable character, because I don't know, but he throws T'Challa over the falls. Nakia gets the Queen and Shuri up out of there. T'Challa's assumed to be dead because he's thrown over the falls. all the doors salute Killmonger because he ascended to the throne in some kind of way.
Then they take him to the Garden of the Heart-Shaped Herb to do the ceremony where they send him to the ancestral plane.
And he goes to see, which shouldn't have been the thing because it should only be the land of like Black Panthers. So I don't know how he went to go see Njoku, but
that trauma was too much. So it's like, of course, he that's exactly what he went back to.
But if you look at it, he's sitting in the in an apartment in California, and he's not in the ancestral plane. He's in somewhere in
he's in his past, pretty much.
He's just in the past.
Because the first thing that he looks at when he walks in was the spot on the floor where he found his dad.
Yeah. So he gets there, and Jovi's like, "Hey man, you ain't got no tears for me." He was like, "Man, shoot, you die all the time, cuz." And you kind of get a feeling of this is who he is, and no matter what, that's not gonna change. He's so cold and so hard by whatever he went through, whatever he endured, that he's not salvageable as far as like his humanity, because he talks about like revolutionizing, bringing like a revolutionary to like Black people around the world, because that's his first thing when he goes into the council room. And you see, like, I like this shot because it basically turns it upside down. So he turns it upside down, basically turning everything onto his head when he walks in to the throne room. And he's basically like, "Yo, where was y'all at when this was happening? Where was y'all at when this was happening?" And he kind of says like, "Oh yeah, I want to do this and want to bring peace to our people and all this." So the way that he was talking and then the way that he acted after that was kind of crazy, because if you notice when he wakes up from the he comes back out of the dreamland, first thing he says is, "Yo, burn all of this."
He was like
burn it all.
He was like the heart-shaped herb just did that. He was like, "Yeah, go ahead and burn all."
Choked out somebody, grandma.
Choked out the grandmama, like
the lady who was the keeper of the garden. He was like, "I can't do that." He was like,
villains. I'm your king.
I'm your king.
Come
I
on,
tell you
man.
to do something, I mean that shit.
He's a revolutionary. No,
so
he's an asshole with a mission.
Nakia just so happened to sneak into the Garden of the Heart-Shaped Herb while everybody was there, and he wakes up. So soon as he told her to burn all of the heart-shaped herbs, because she was like, we can't do that, because part of us having this garden of the heart-shaped herb is in preparation for the next king. And he was like, "Ain't gonna be no king after me. Burn all of it." So Nakia automatically was like, "Shit, let me go ahead and grab one before he burned it all." And she was able to grab it and get out without being seen. Then we get to the upside down shot of Killmonger walking to the throne for the first time. And like you said, Rashad, giving the speech of, in the past, we weren't able to stand up against our oppressors because we didn't have the tools and the resources to do so. So now I want to liberate everybody all over the world that look like us so that we can stand up to our oppressors. And the thing is always, well, that's not the Wakandan way. We've never used our resources to wage war. We use it to mind our own Black business. You know what I'm saying? We are prepared for trouble when it comes, but we never go looking for trouble.
Right. So
he was
you skipped over the part with Agent Ross, the colonizer that comes. Why you bring this colonizer up in my workshop? So basically, like, they do surgery to save Claw, and that was one thing that, like, Okoye was like, "Man, I don't agree with that," but she went along with it because T'Challa said it. But when Nakia went to Okoye in the throne room late at night, she's like, "Hey man, I need you to come with me." She's like, "Nah, I can't do that. My duty is to be here." And she was like, to protect the king, and she was like, "Yo, he killed T'Challa." He's like, in ritual combat. So
Like, that don't make no difference.
they kind of beefing or whatever. She
But
like,
she
hey,
said,
you can
"Look,
go. I can't go with you. You still my sister. I can't
right,
go with
because
you."
my duty is to my loyalty is
Wakanda.
to the throne, no matter who sits in that.
I mean,
No
she
matter who
beat
sits.
dude up fairly, so it ain't like he cheated. She whooped his ass. He whooped his ass fairly. So in her mind, she's like, "Hey, I love T'Challa, but this is what I'm born to do."
Yeah,
And she was like, "Do
they
you love Wakanda?" She was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Then serve your country." She was like, "You here to serve your country? I'm here to save my country."
mhm. So that shot with T'Challa getting thrown off of a cliff is actually from a comic where he is facing against like Killmonger was a problem in the comics. He was just he was just massive. But so they end up going to M'Baku because they're like, hey man, we need you to take the heart shaped herb so you can take over, Wakanda. He's like, nah, I can't do that. He's like, I want to show you something. So they
He barked at
show.
Agent Ross. I thought that was fire.
Oh yeah,
You cannot talk.
say one more word, and we will feed you to our children. I'm just kidding. We are vegetarians. I want to throw in like that. No lie though. I wanted to be. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, Child was my favorite character, but I ain't gonna hold you. I wanted to be. I wanted to be part of the Jabari. Not gonna hold you. But yeah. So they go to the Jabari tribe or whatever, and it's kind of dangerous because they traveling to a different part of Wakanda. End up finding out that T'Challa is still alive, barely holding on. He's like, yo, we gonna take him up out. He said, you can do it, but he'll be dead in seconds.
Right. He's in a coma, and him laying there the way he is, like, is preserving the little bit of life he got left. So if you remove him, you hurt him more than you help.
So they start mixing up the heart-shaped herb again. Take it out, I guess. And they pour it into his mouth. And this is where you have T'Challa go back to the ancestral plane, talk to his pops, and he like, yo, man, like, you should have brought the boy home. Why didn't you bring the boy home?
And look, he tried to glaze over that too, because this interaction was way different than the first time. Because the first time it was like midday, you know what I'm saying? The sky was colorful. He looks into the tree. There's multiple panthers in the tree. The one jumps down, it's his pops. But this time, everybody is in their human form. It's like 20 of them. And it was almost as if they were waiting for T'Challa to get there, because his pop immediately said, son, I think now the time has come for you to reunite with me and to join us here. And T'Challa was like, nah, that's not the conversation we're finna have. Because we not finna skip past that, like you didn't do that or not do that and then lie about it. And he pretty much would imagine going to the ancestral plane to hold all of your ancestors accountable for some shit that they did wrong in their human life. He was like, you were wrong, all of y'all was wrong.
Well, now I gotta go. Now I gotta go handle this because y'all didn't know how to handle it, so I gotta go handle it. And that's when he wakes up, and he sees Nakia, his mom, and Shuri, and Agent Ross, and they all hug up. So basically, Killmonger is getting ready to send out the war dogs. He done got the plans and everything. So all you hear is a plane hit the ground and explode, and the musical score rises up. You see T'Challa step from the burning plane, and everybody starts smiling. He's like, "Hey, in the Jaka." He said, "I never yielded. I never yielded. And as you cannot see, I am not dead.
I'm not dead."
And
no, all that challenge shit was over, cuz.
So So he started running up, and then of course, the border tribe gonna try to stop him. He's like, nah, hops over him, does the Iron Man punch down to the ground, knocks him out, takes a spear, throws it at a plant. Like this whole sequence was nasty. So you don't really get the T'Challa and Killmonger fight because T'Challa's busy fighting everybody else. You got
the women ran down on Killmonger.
What's my boy name? You got Wakabi. He on his rhino, trying to charge at people. T'Challa took a rhino and slammed him into the ground. Like this man was meaning business. Coming back, and you see the door try to fight T'Challa. I mean not T'Challa, but Killmonger, and he removes this thing to a Jaguar suit. Which in the comics, Killmonger has a Jaguar, so that's kind of why they went for that. That Jaguar be scratching the mess out of people too. So they fight or whatever. Killmonger kills one of the door, throws it down. Everybody get all serious and they start going out there. Now, you then have Nakia and Shuri come out with the little blaster things. She got them little gauntlets or whatever.
Which prior to that, when Shuri was explaining the situation to Agent Ross to say, hey, I'm gonna have you fly a plane remote because Killmonger had already sent ships to take the weapons outside of Wakanda. So we need you to operate the ship remotely from in here to keep those ships from leaving. I Americanized it for you because you was a pilot in the Air Force. So you know what I'm saying? So then they grabbed their weapons and she was like, here, Nakia, put this on, this is armor, and then they go out and they join the fight.
So you got you basically have Killmonger go after Shuri, and that's when T'Challa tries to get involved, and basically Wakabi is charging at T'Challa with the rhino, and Okoye steps in front, and Wakabi gets off, and he's like, would you kill me, my love? She said, for Wakanda.
No,
without question.
Without question on the set.
So T'Challa and Killmonger start squaring off. And it's one of those fight scenes where okay, they got equal suits, they got equal powers, they're going back and forth. What makes this battle like the part that it is T'Challa's battle skills. His genius comes out because he's like, all right, well, we around these vibranium neuralizers, so I know at some point your suit is gonna come out. So T'Challa and Killmonger going back and forth. T'Challa's like, man, they took everything from me. I mean, not T'Challa. Killmonger's like, man, they took everything from me. And it's like one move where T'Challa like drops the blade, Killmonger's suit opens up, and he puts it in, and then he backs up and the suit stabilizes again. And T'Challa's basically like, man, look, we can save you, bro. We can save you. And he's like, I just want to see the sun. I just want to see the sunset.
Right, because they're down there on the train tracks. He jabs him in the chest with the spear. He was like, damn, that's a hell of a move. So when Killmonger looks down to see exactly where T'Challa placed that blade, in his mind, he was like, fuck, I don't have that much time left. So he started talking about how he was like, my pops told me he would bring me back to Wakanda one day. Like, would you believe that? Like, he told me he would show it to me. So T'Challa took that personal as if, like, this is my last wish, is to see the sunset, to see Wakanda the way that my father described it to me as a kid. So he takes him up top to the ledge, shows him probably one of the most beautiful sunsets he's ever seen. And he's just like taking it all in this moment. And then, T'Challa, understanding Killmonger's motive, he didn't really want to kill him. So that's when he was like, we can save you. Like, and then he was like, for what? So y'all can lock me up and have me caged up like some kind of animal?
Nah, bury me in the ocean where my ancestors died.
That jumped from them ships because they knew death was better than bondage. Pulled, yes, Chrissy, hardest line in the movie. Pulls the blade out of his chest, takes his last couple breaths. Go.
Still don't like that they try to make him a martyr. Because my boy was ready to kill his own people.
I agree with you on that. That was my biggest. People kept saying like, "Oh, he's this, he's this." He was a murderer. Like we're not saying here just because he had a few, memorable quotables does not make him a savior. So was Bane. He was molded in the dark. That does not make sense. I mean, Bane a good guy. Like
it was a hard line.
But was Bane's backstory similar to Killmonger's backstory though?
He had like a
because with Killmonger there's a lot of justification. There's a lot of
it was a lot of justification.
There were things that could have went different as a child that could have changed that whole chain of events leading up to him being
protesters. He wanted to become exactly what he was supposed to be fighting against. So he wanted to have everybody to have these weapons, and he was leading in fear.
He wanted to liberate everybody.
He wanted to liberate everybody. So that's what he wanted to use. No, he wanted everybody to be afraid of. This is why he wanted to have the best weapons, and he was. I don't like you said. I feel like Ryan wanted Killmonger to be a likable character, a likable villain. And there's no such thing. I mean, you can like it because he's a villain, but he was a bad guy. He was choking up all women. He was killing his girls. So it's like, I get what you like what he was trying to
kill one of the doors.
He killed one. So it's like, I mean, just because he, I understand it, but it's like you said, it's almost they were trying too much. They were trying too hard to push him towards likableness.
This is my problem with like a lot of things. They should have took him with them. This would have never happened if they did. We don't know what a person's trajectory is or what they would do. Yes, is there a possibility that it wouldn't have happened? Yeah, absolutely. But it's also a possibility that he would have grew up and still been the same person.
Right, because he didn't know Wakanda. He knew Oakland, California.
Right. So, I mean, your surroundings, I mean, it wasn't like his dad. It wasn't like his dad was growing him up in the suburbs where he was going to school and walking there. No, his dad was dealing.
He had valid points because they eventually did what he suggested. They just went about it in a different manner. Yeah. This is Wakanda. This is what we got. We got the real blickies over here. But also help y'all out. So they basically, it was like, okay, we get what you're saying, and we're gonna try that because there's some truth to what you're saying. There's some truth to that.
But also,
how you doing it?
Why are we sharing? So this is another thing. So I think a lot of people I know I don't want this to get too deep, but a lot of people talking about like resources and stuff to share. Like Africa is one of the most dug out places from resources that all countries have taken from. When it comes to gold, diamonds,
oil, everything.
It's the richest country in the world as far as resources are.
But it's poor. So what happens? What happens when you start sharing all that vibranium with people? They start turning it into weapons. Oh, I forgot. Wait, it's in Atlantis. So yeah, sure. Anyway, bro, I hate that movie so. I hate that movie so bad.
But yeah, you don't want to run the risk of depleting your resources and then increasing the possibility of the people you sharing your resources with using it against you. Like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get all the rest of that.
But I think you can, like I said, like there's ways to monitor it because you can't just give them something and expect them to know what to do with it either.
But they did though. They traded it for goods. So they did trade for goods and money.
So it's like we're gonna show
you what
we ain't gonna show you because you. But it's more
We
peaceful.
ain't gonna tell y'all how much we got.
Exactly, and we ain't gonna tell you what all to do with it. We just gonna say maybe you use it for this, you can use it for that. We gonna monitor it because now can't just anybody just get it and start building a whole new Wakanda. You gotta have some type of.
And I ain't gonna hold you. Comic book T'Challa ain't letting nobody in nowhere.
Nowhere.
That man is not letting you in Wakanda. Share what? Resources. What is that? First of all, brother, we got goats. I got some goats. But
Ryan Coogler definitely painted Black Panther to be the more reasonable person in the movie because even his dad said, "You're a good man, and it's hard for a good man to be king."
Now, I will say that is actually T'Challa. Like he does struggle with kingship, warrior stuff, like protecting Wakanda and like putting hands and feet on you if you step towards Wakanda. Yeah,
it was that responsibility.
But being yeah. So
I'm responsible
he does
for this entire nation.
He does struggle with that, and I think that's because like he didn't lose his dad young, but he lost his mom young. But Ramonda was there. Shuri's his half sister, So he did go through a lot of different things, which I also thought was dope that they didn't really go into detail about the whole Ramonda thing, and like he did look at her as like his mother, but I really wish they could have took a few different things different with like T'Challa's character in the movie. Is because first of all, T'Challa's very smart. When it comes to like combat, bro, all the different martial arts skills, like, yeah, like genius, bro, and like tactician level. This man went to go beat up the Fantastic Four and then became their friends after. just so he can test the skills.
That was the story of his life.
First story. Yeah.
He always whooped your ass and then became your friend. That's just what he did throughout his whole comic book.
Unless you were Namor.
Oh yeah.
He don't like Namor.
Everybody else though, he'll whoop you up real quick and then y'all best buddies.
He'll be all right with you, but it's Namor, bro. Them two don't like each other, bro. That's why I wish they would have had like them two, man. Yeah. But yeah, great movie, man. Great cast. The ending song still gets me every single time. SZA jumps on, the beats drop. It takes you back to that moment of where were you when you first heard this song? And you see like the names in the credits start to go. Like it's a very well put together movie. Like I have my gripes on it because I am such a hard on Black Panther fan, and I am such a T'Challa fan. Like I have my gripes with the movie. Like I felt like Disney should have put more money. Well, Marvel Studios should have put more money into it, especially like with the CGI stuff, because I know they ran out of money on certain things. You can tell like the CGI looks differently on certain things. I love the concept art. Now, honestly, man, it's not a perfect movie, but it was a 5 out of 5 for me at all times.
It's an experience.
I can't. That's what I'm saying. Like that, you can't copy this experience. It's the whole thing is which is why I say it's a 5 out of 5 movie for me, because just the experience, man, just being in the theater, like the collectibles that come with it, like. Man, they had like Black Panther popcorn buckets. Man, I got like mugs, like shirts, hats, all kind of stuff.
When the last time you see people dress up?
Yeah, it was like it was a concert, man. It was like most.
It was a big deal, bro.
This was an experience. All my years of life, I've never seen a movie experience. This was a whole experience. So, it's gonna be hard for this to happen again. I just don't see it happening again. It's gonna be. I don't know what experience can happen. But in order for it to be an experience, it's going to have to be our culture. It's going to be something that's related to us, because I hate saying like this, I don't know, but in the other culture, they done seen everything. They done seen everything before almost in this culture. There's nothing that's a surprise to them because they done seen them play everything, do everything. That's the first time, like you said, we've seen like you said, Black. See, nobody knew Blade was Marvel if you didn't know what Marvel was. If you wasn't in this comic books, you didn't know Blade was a Marvel character.
Yeah.
You just thought Blade was just I heard just nobody knew there was actual Marvel movies.
Bro, that first Blade movie though
was incredible. Blade was hard as shit. Spawn. Nobody knew Spawn was. Nobody knew nothing about these characters because they didn't know until Black Panther was the one that put it out there in the world.
So fun fact: Spawn is the highest selling comic book character of all time.
Yep.
Image Comics. Highest selling. Like, bro, I got.
But nobody knows this about. So when they see this was an experience, like, yo, this is what it is, and I just. So now I see why your disdain for the second one was as strong as it was.
Because, bro, you took everything this first movie was and crapped on it. Like, you took everything this first movie was and was like, we're going to give y'all this.
I see what they were trying to do, but to not recast them. And I think that's what they're going to try to pull in the new, because
they already released the concept art.
Yeah, so because in the multiverse,
it looks a little bit like
So I kind of get what they're trying to do because in the multiverse.
You seen the concept art, bro?
Yeah. The concept art is hard.
No, you haven't.
With the Hawk City and stuff with the Hawk and the sun and so they got some concept. So I see what they.
One lady, I think one lady from Marvel Studios is gonna get fired. Yeah. So for those of you who haven't seen it,
you about to lose your job.
Oh yeah, she definitely getting fired.
You about to lose your job.
They said everything leaked online. It was like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and
detaining me for nothing.
You were about to lose your job.
Yes, Chrissy, absolutely. It definitely did not feel like they took the time to, you know what I'm saying?
That's what happened when you want to.
The grits were undercut.
You want to maximize out somebody's depth. That's what happened. But wait. See, look. But like, if you look at it, who that look like?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Damson Idris,
man. Yeah. The
Doctor Strange, Kate.
Who they would want to play certain characters?
Nah, so it's gonna be a variant of T'Challa, but like the original Black Panther has like a cape.
So this is like I said, with the multiverse, which is this to be the best time to incorporate different variations of different characters. You know what I'm saying? Because you can put anybody to play T'Challa because it's in a different multiverse, it's in a different universe. So it's not the one that we saw. It's a whole different one. So we can't be like, that's not Black Panther. Well, technically it is in a different multiverse, So and we're in the multiverse phase of MCU. So it's kind of like
they trying to fix it.
Anybody anywhere.
They trying to fix it. That's all they doing.
Exactly. So this is the time for them to fix their mistakes, basically.
Bro,
like
Marvel is losing money. I don't know if y'all know this, but Marvel is losing money. Their last movie that was successful was
Endgame shit.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, third.
That was their last successful movie. Everything else has been a flop.
Spider-Man came out. Yeah,
Spider-Man is Sony.
Oh, it is Sony.
That's not Marvel.
It's not.
No. It's Sony. The Incredible Hulk is Universal.
That's right. I thought that was Marvel.
Venom, Sony.
That is Sony because they still have the rights to the Spider-Man in that whole.
And they're not selling it.
They're not giving it up at all.
Universal ain't giving it up. Universal ain't selling the Hulk either. But yeah, man. Black Panther 1, 2018, February. What a time, man. Black History Month too. That's what was crazy about it. It was Black History Month. You know, it was a beautiful time, man.
I don't think it's never gonna be nothing like it. I won't say it's not, but
it's gonna be hard. I'll tell you like that. It's gonna be hard.
Deadpool Wolverine tomorrow, but
what about Deadpool Wolverine? Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess that's because people like that's because people like Deadpool. I'm not a Deadpool fan. I'm sorry. But yeah, you can put that one in there. So they had 2 movies. They had 2 movies in 10 years. I mean, two movies in what, 5 years? 5 years. I'm sorry.
I think the next phase is gonna be alright though. You know,
because Endgame was what?
There's Fantastic Four coming out. You know,
No,
so yep.
No, it does. It didn't help Marvel at all. Like like Falcon and the Winter Soldier is doing terrible. I mean, not Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but Captain America.
I haven't even seen it yet.
Endgame was 2019.
How is that? I heard it wasn't doing good in the theater.
So okay, so
almost
did you
a
watch the show?
year. Endgame was April of 2019.
If you watched the show, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, like they pushed the issue on a lot of things. With the movie, no, it was so safe. I was like, nah. Like I would have been okay with it if they would have went a little further with it. But also, I don't really think Anthony. I don't like Anthony Mackie. Sorry, cheekbones too high. It only did 347 million at the box office, and I don't know what the budget was, but I guarantee you it was in at least the 200s.
It's probably gonna be on streaming Saturday, so you know
it'll be streaming soon. Like, and the crazy thing is, they tried to bank off of it being in Black History Month, and that didn't work. Yeah, but anyway, Marvel gonna do what Marvel gonna do. They got the Fantastic Four coming this year. They got what else they got? They got something else coming this year, but it is what it is. But definitely want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. I appreciate y'all coming back. Craziness, happened to me last night, so I definitely appreciate everybody coming back on and kicking it with us. This was a movie that I really wanted to talk about. Crazy enough, oddly enough, I never did a video review for this movie. But happy it's not out now. Still one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Absolutely.
Still one of my favorite movies, period. So definitely enjoyed it, but definitely appreciate y'all. And yeah, we'll go ahead and close this thing on out. Being host Rashad. We'll see y'all on Tuesday, by the way. Being host Rashad, along with the crew.
Big King, 2 G's, 2 N's. Y'all be safe.
And last but not least, I am the King MOE, 1/5 of the Popcorn and Your Beer Podcast, the baddest podcast in the land. Make sure you follow the Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter. Follow us on Twitch. Go to the bio in the Instagram to get the link to the Discord. Join the Discord. I don't know if we're doing. We should. What are we doing? The suggestion of the month Tuesday. What you said? The first Tuesday every month.
We can. I won't be here. I won't be here Sunday. So.
All right. So yeah, until then, stay tuned. Follow us on everything. Become part of the conversation. Join the community. Have some influence on what we review. So
yeah.
Wakanda forever.
Rest in peace.
Peace out.
Chadwick
yeah.
Boseman.
Be easy. Brush your teeth.
Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Man.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Peace, y'all.
You should have told us.
To cut everybody off. Like now.
But I told
Going on?
I don't think
That's wild, bro.
Where are we coming up with these questions? Orgy going on? My man said he's a show.
She aged like cheap. Speak on it, brother. Speak on it.
Practically become Bruce Wayne.
What we gotta do, Mika?
Push the goddamn button, man.